So let's talk about seeking asylum in Luxembourg. I've gotten so many emails from different people asking about what is the process of seeking asylum in Luxembourg. So today I'm just going to talk about that. So let's start by explaining what asylum is. Asylum is seeking international protection from a different country. So Luxembourg, we're going to talk about Luxembourg in particular. So what is this asylum? Asylum is seeking international protection status. So that is when you're seeking protection from a different country that is your original country. So we're going to talk about Luxembourg. What does Luxembourg look at asylum? What's the process? What do they think of asylum? Asylum in Luxembourg. Luxembourg recognizes two categories of international protection status. The first one is the refugee status, and the second is the subsidiary protection status. The international protection applies only to nationals of third countries and stateless persons. It is not for for any EU citizens. It's basically for the third world countries and people who do not have any state, like they're stateless. So, what is the refugee status? Let's talk more about what that is. So the first category, which is the refugee status, this is, let's explain it further. So the refugee status is any person who, owing to a fear of persecution for reasons of race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership of a particular social group, and who, as a third country national, is outside of their country of nationality, and who, owing to this fear, does not claim protection from that country, that is his country of origin. Then also, as a stateless person is outside, or as a stateless person who is outside the country of their usual place of residence and is unable or owing to return to their country. That is, return to their country because of fear of owing to such fear of unwillingness to return to that country, So yeah, that is what the refugee status and then the is. Subsidiary protection status. This is any person who cannot be considered a refugee, but for whom there are strong and demonstrable grounds to believe that if that person were to return back to their country, they would be suffering serious harm. For example, death penalty, torture, or something inhuman, serious or individual threat to their life, or something like that. So that is the second type of status that you're given. So those are the two types of status that Luxembourg recognizes, which is the refugee status and the subsidiary protection status. So I guess everyone is wondering, what is the process for applying for this international protection status in Luxembourg? So I'm going to explain further some of these, the process that you need to take, and I'm going to read them out because I wrote down I did some research, I checked around, asked a couple of people who have gone through this process, and this is the feedback that I came back with, and I'm sharing with you people. I do not have an experience in that because I've not yet gone through it, but I have a couple of friends who have done this, so I'm giving you this based on what they told me. So if you're out there and probably you have a different process that you've done before, feel free to share it and with everyone else, because I'm sure there's many people would like to know. So here goes with what I came up with. So the process: application for international protection. Where to submit an application for the international protection status in person. So I'm going to list down the places where you need, the minute you get into Luxembourg, these are there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 places where you can go and submit your application for this international protection status. So the first one is the Ministry of Home Affairs, which is the General Department of Immigration, Department for Refugees. So you can go direct to the ministry and you seek that protection there, or you can go to the control service the control at the airport. So when you get to the airport, there's the section where you find there's the section of the control at the airport. There you go direct to them and you can explain your situation and they'll help you right away. Or you can go to the Grand Duque Police. This is the police station. So if the minute you're in Luxembourg and you cite any police station, you can go directly to them and they'll be able to help you. And then also you can go to the detention center where the refugee has been placed. So that is also where you can go and seek the protection. Then the state prison where the refugee has been placed. Some people could come as, like in prison or wherever. So those are all the 5 places that you can go and seek the international protection status, in brackets asylum. The process. So these are the things that you need to do if you want to seek international protection in Luxembourg. The first one is you need to register for the application. The applicant must go in person to the Ministry of Home Affairs to register the application for asylum. One will receive a document explaining what's needed of them. You could read more. I'm going to leave down a link with everything that you need to do. So you go read more and you find everything that you need, the documents. There's a form that you're given and you have to attach all the documents to back up your application. Everything is there in this link. So just read further and you find what you need. And then the second thing is that you will then need to schedule an appointment on when to submit the above application. The application should have all the supporting documents requested. And then your photograph is taken. And a criminal police officer will interview you to verify your identity and itinerary before arriving in Luxembourg. And fingerprints are taken. So the minute you get into Luxembourg, of course, they need to identify. You need to provide your identification. So you need to have your passport, your kind of national ID. They need to understand exactly where you're from, and they do some fingerprints to understand, they need to do some background check on you. So it's really a very thorough process that you receive a print certificate 3 days after. So 3 days after you've submitted your application, you will receive by email, you will receive a pink certificate which grants you permission to stay in Luxembourg freely. You can move freely and do anything you want, only within Luxembourg, because this is just giving you time until your application status has been approved. So right now you've submitted your application. So while they are working on your application, you receive a certificate that grants you permission to live in Luxembourg, but you cannot move out of Luxembourg. You need to be only within Luxembourg until you're granted the full asylum status. So this certificate does not allow one to travel out of other European countries. The certificate is renewed monthly until your papers are ready. And then the fifth one is the applicant will then meet with a social worker who will provide information regarding the different types of aid available. So after you've done all this application stuff, you've submitted and stuff like that, you have to meet with a social worker who will then advise you on on the kind of aids that they'll be providing. Because remember, you're in this country, you've just come in this country, probably you do not have where to stay, you don't know what the medical status and stuff like that. So the social worker will guide you and provide you with all the information that you need to know, what kind of help they'll give you, what monthly stipend they're going to give you, everything that you need, definitely to survive during that period until they grant you the status. And then the applicant will then meet with the social worker who will provide information regarding the different types of aid available. Then within 8 days of submitting your application, you must declare arrival in the commune where one has taken up residence. So this is, you have to declare because, for example, you could come into the country, maybe you've come as a visitor and you're living in maybe your sister's place or you're living with your brother or a friend or something. You need to declare your place of residence to the commune that you're at. And then also if you do not have, let's say you've come and you don't have where to stay, in most cases your residence will be what the ministry will provide for you. So it's important they need to know your place of residence, where you'll be residing, because your application will be sent. When everything is done with your application, they will need to know how to contact you. So if you're in any kind of place, they'll need to know the address that you're living at. So within 8 days, and that happens basically within 8 days. So within 8 days of submitting the application, you must declare arrival in the commune where one has taken up residence, either with their lawyers, friends, etc. And if none is provided, then you must as I said, you be a responsibility of the ministry. So the ministry will provide you where to live and stuff like that. Applicants must also undergo a medical check within 6 weeks of arriving in the country. So after you've arrived into the country, you've submitted your application and stuff like that, then you need to do a medical check. They need to check to see in case you've come here as your reasons for coming into the country probably is because of some humane things that have happened to you, all sorts of things that could have your reasons. They need to check to ensure that you're in a good health status and nothing is wrong, you're healthy and stuff like that. So it's important for the government to know that. So you will need to do that medical check. And then you will then receive a letter inviting you for an in-depth interview, which you must attend in person together with the pink certificate at the General Department of Immigration, that's the Department of Refugees. In this interview, You get the opportunity to explain in detail your reasons for seeking asylum and provide any documents providing your reasons of seeking asylum in this country. So as I was telling you, they need your address. So you need to be invited for an interview, and in most cases they can either contact you in person or they'll send you like a post mail or something. So it's important for them to know that address because of that. So in this interview, this is the time where now it's your time, to express exactly why you need asylum in Luxembourg. So within this interview, you're supposed to be like truthful. You really need to be honest. You need to explain your reasons. If you have any documents to back up all this, you need to provide those documents. And you just need your time, to just pour out everything that you need to explain to them. Applicants will normally receive a response within 6 months. So after the interview is done, then you can go back. Remember, you have this pink certificate to move around, do your business, live. You're freely to move it within Luxembourg. So this process, the application process, normally takes within 6 months. So after 6 months, you receive either by email or through post or whatever type way they will try to contact you. And then they will let you know of your status, whether you have been given the status or you haven't been given the status. So it's just you they will let you know. So if you have received the status, then they will let you know about what is needed of you. In most cases, if you've been granted the international status, then international protection status, then you'll be granted automatically a 5-year residence permit to live in Luxembourg. So you're free to do anything that you want. So basically, that is it. That is the process that you need to know in order to seek as asylum. So if you're out there and you're undergoing through some kind of, anything that is happening to you, and you're stranded, you don't know where to go, because right now there's so many countries that are providing this asylum, but the process is really very tough, and you feel that Luxembourg is the country for you. If this information is helpful, please, you can go ahead and seek asylum, and you'll be granted it as long as your story is correct, it's truthful, it's honest. Luxembourg is always here to welcome. So this is it for today. I will prepare another video explaining to you what happens then when you've received now the international status, what is needed of you, what kind of what can you do, stuff like that. I will explain it further in the next vlog. So thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and for those of you who have not yet subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Let's grow my channel. Let's get the channel growing so I can be able to help many people. I really want to help so many people who are out there. So that is it for today. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.